Critical polling station. Disclaimer: this training material is for use in training of election officials. It should not be referred as guideline of commission. In case of any variance in this training material, the Election Commission guidelines, rules, laws shall prevail. Learning outcomes. At the end of the session, the participants will be able to define critical polling station, understand the objective criteria to identify critical polling stations, explain the additional measures to be taken in critical polling stations. Let's understand what do we mean by critical polling stations. A critical polling station is that polling station so identified for making special security arrangements during election on the basis of past electoral history to provide focused and enhanced measures at identified polling stations to prevent poll process vitiation and electoral violence. Now we will see critical polling stations. Critical polling stations are identified to take additional measures in advance with respect to deployment of security forces and other field officials on the day of poll, ensuring free and fair conduct of poll. Objectives for identification of critical polling stations. So the objectives are polling stations having vulnerable pockets and polling stations located in identified vulnerable area. Polling stations where polling was more than 90% and where more than 75% of votes have been polled in favor of one candidate in last election. Polling stations where polling was less than 10% in last election. Polling stations where repoll conducted owing to vitiation of poll process and electoral offences such as booth capturing during any election for Lok Sabha or State Legislative Assembly in last 5 years. Polling stations where any sort of violence took place on the poll day, leading to lodging of FIR during any election for Lok Sabha or State Legislative Assembly in last 5 years. Information regarding abnormal law and order situation in any particular area. Polling stations with higher than constituency average percentage of the absentee, shifted and dead electors. So the formula for determining the constituency average of the ASG electors is shown on the screen. Additional measures at critical polling stations are mandatory deployment of the Central Paramilitary Forces, mandatory deployment of a micro-observer in consultation with the General Observer. List of such polling stations to be given to the commanding or the assistant commanding officer of CAPF to keep an eye on such polling station. Digital camera or video camera in the critical polling station. Webcasting of all critical polling stations to be done. In this educational video, we have learned about critical polling stations. If you have any doubt or want any clarification, then you can contact through the mail as shown on the screen. For other videos and rules and regulations, you can visit the web address as shown. Thank you.